really know what like half these words mean, but that's fine. Oh hey, didn't see you there. Just thought I'd do a video in honor of William Shakespeare's birthday yesterday about Romeo and Juliet. So English, let's go. It's a bit different than my normal history videos, but that's fine because it's not really history because it is fiction, which means it is made up by none other than William Shakespeare. Let's go. It takes place in 1492, which is the same year that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Wild. I was going to include in this, but I'll be spreading false information. So, sorry, I can't do that. It's illegal. So, to review the cast real quick, we have Tybalt, who goes by Ty, and then we have Benvolio, who would go by Ben for short because I have a hard time pronouncing his full name because I'm white, so anything with more than 2 syllables is just a struggle for me. And then we have Juliet's nurse that actually doesn't have a name in the play, so I gave her a name of my own, and that's Hagatha. Fits her, I think. There's just something about her that doesn't sit right with me, so I figured that Hagatha would be a good name for her. Hagatha. That sounds like the sound that my dog would make when he was barfing. Hagatha. Yeah, that's right. So, Romeo here and Juliet are part of 2 gangs, the Capulets and the Montagues. Montagues and Capulets. And he's talking to Ben here about this cool story. He's like, hey dude, I heard a story about these brothers that were fighting, and then he murdered the brother. And then his brother came to haunt his son, the ghost son, and they should probably make a play about that. And Ben's like, I think you're thinking of the Lion King, but whatever, dude. So he's like, that's a good idea. Then Romeo's like, hey, who's that fine lady over there? And Ben here is like, that's Juliet. You don't want to marry her, dude. Her father and your father hate each other, and that would just be mass chaos and war, probably suicide, just a hunch. And Romeo's like, interested. So he falls in, and he finds out that Juliet's having a big old party for her sweet 16th birthday. So he's like, let's go crush her party, but we have to wear masks because they see us and they recognize us, they're gonna kill us. So Ben, Ty, and Romeo here all go to the party. Ty here is really just here for the ride. Like, he might punch a guy. You never know with him. He's unpredictable. And so they go to the party. Romeo meets Juliet, and she's like, wait a minute, you look really familiar. And he's like, don't think so. She's like, no, you definitely look like the kind of guy that my dad would hate. And he's like, I think you have been mistaken for someone. And she's like, oh yeah, you're probably right. So then they fall in love, and it's just totally weird because it's their first night meeting each other, and I've never done that. Like, when I was 16, like, I never saw some random dude and just, like, fell in love with him, got his phone number, and then he never texted me afterwards. Steak dances, am I right? But that never happened to me. So, Juliet's talking to Romeo, and she's like, hey, here's an idea. Come to my balcony tomorrow night, and we'll talk some more. He's like, genius, let's go. So he goes to her balcony, which is a big fat balcony, because she's rich and has money, because she's like a princess or something, I don't know. So she's like chilling here. She's probably singing a song or something, because, she's basic, white girl. And so Romeo's down here, and he's like, hey, yo, Juliet, I got your flowers. And she's like, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? That's where that line comes from. And he's like, I'm over here, you're standing on the wrong side of the balcony, sweetheart. So then she runs over here, lets her hair down so he can climb up it. Rapunzel who? I only know Juliet, sorry. And he climbs up her hair, talks with her. They fall in love all over again. How romantic. And they do all the gushy, kissy stuff. And then he's like, hey, like, what if we get married? And she's like, no, our fathers definitely hate each other. That would be a bad idea. And Romeo here is like, what's the worst that can happen? And she's like, you have a point there. Let's go. So like a couple days go by, and they're writing secret love notes to each other. Ty's his wingman, and Hagatha, her nurse, is her wing woman. She definitely sprayed perfume on her letters. It's definitely something that Juliet would do. Don't at me. That's exactly what happened. So they're writing letters to each other, and then their fathers find out, and there's just utter chaos, and it's war. That represents war. And so Juliet's like, in order for us to get married, we have to do something dramatic. And Romeo's like, oh my gosh, I love drama. She's like, I know you do. So she's like, what if I pretend to kill myself? So she writes a letter about it to tell Romeo. And she's like, hey, spoiler alert, I'm going to kill myself, but not really. It's fake. It is fake. It's not fake. It's fake. And she's like, but don't kill yourself. Don't do anything because it's fake. Okay, I'm not actually going to kill myself. So she sends her letter to Agatha, who delivers the message to, like, Tybalt. And somehow or somewhere along the way, the letter gets lost in the mail, gets lost in the communication tracks. So the letter is no more. And so she is like, goes down to some creepy tunnels where there's a bunch of dead people because her family thinks that she killed herself, right? Right? So she's down here and she's like dead. And Romeo's like, hey, why hasn't she responded to my letters? And Ty's like, couldn't tell you, dude. Even though Ty's the one that lost the letter because he's irresponsible. And Ben's like, I have some sad news, dude. Your girl Juliet is dead. And Romeo loses it. He goes mad. He eats all the rice in the palace, gained like 50 pounds. He's done for. So he goes down to creepy tunnels to join her in unity and hand-holding and finds her laying there. And he's like, that's it. My life is over. So he meets some creepy witch. Drinks some poison, okay? This is the poison. The poison for Cusco. Oh yeah, that poison. That's why Cusco didn't turn into a llama. It's because Romeo drank that poison. That poison. Yep. It's the same poison. Who would have thought? So he drinks it, and now he's donezo. Because he thinks Juliet's dead. She's not really. She's faking it. She's a great actress. And she wakes up. She finds him, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?" Which roughly translates to, "Oh my gosh, Yodu, where you at?" Yeah. So then she's like, "That's it. I can't live without him." Even though she lived 16 years without him. Whatever. I don't know the rules. She stabs herself with this pointy knife that looks like a toothpick you find in club sandwiches. Club sandwiches, am I 70? Anyways, so she stabs herself, and now they're both dead. And that is the story of the most tragic love story known to man, besides The Notebook. So thanks for tuning in, dudes. Tune in next time when I teach you about something else. Who knows?